I walked down snowy 7th Street, and inside it was McSorley's, and Cummings drinking beer, with a smoking cigarette in his long and languid hand. And the light pulled on his high, skinny head. He caught my eye with his wicked Slavic eye and waved me in, because he knew me from a hole in the ground, and was, I guess, lonely. I, glad to leave the cold and glad to see the poet, entered and scuffed along the sawdust floor. I took the hand he held aloft that was clammy and mysteriously soft, then slid onto the seat he across his way, my mind a roar. "Thick," he said. "E," said I. He caught my joke with his long-lipped mouth and took a drag. "What do you have?" he asked. I saw he preferred his ale blonde and told him I have red. Then we began to talk. "Which of my poems do you like best? It may not always be so." And I said, "Which of my essays do you prefer?" And ducked. "The chicken came first," he clucked. "I'm curious if it's hard to talk without periods and question marks. How do you know when you reach the end?" "Never give it a thought, who cares? It ends when it ends." From my flask I stiffened up my red and slipped some to his blonde. By now we had warmed to the task. My head got light, and I nerved to ask about Pound and Eliot. "Pound was a red-bearded hoot, Eliot a joyless poot, I say. A joy kill, he scared the joy away. I met him once too often, took hours for my hands to soften. My blind once more, the little whore, a warmer frosty up." Oh, it was getting good in there. On his cheeks I saw the roses grow. "Dare I bring up Wilson now, before you throw me out?" And took a slug of snout. "You mean the nasty thing he said, that my poems on the page are hideous? Old Edmund could be frivolous. Saw a copy of Hecate County for 11 cents, and before he dies, he repents." Too much time ran by, but I had a little more. "Is it true the hummingbirds at your cabin in the woods would salute you up and down before they flew into the wintry season?" "Ha! You remember well, young sir. Yes, that was the reason. And it happened as it should. Nice of you to ask. And leave the flash before you leave. And when in the spring find me up and we can going, we chase the balloon man and get mud luscious in our cups." I ambled across the floor and out the door, and when I looked back, he sat there like a quiet charcoal drawing. And outside it was New York and snowing.